What's going on, guys? It's been a while. Been busy at my other jobs, doing everything that brings in the money that's a lot easier than firewood. And I get spoiled doing that stuff because it's a lot easier than this. But the problem is also when it's too hot. I can't work out in this type of weather. I can't work late like I used to because of the noise issue. And it's just too hot in the day to work, you know. So even today's what? It's about 27 degrees Celsius right now. So that's about 82 degrees. So it's relatively hot. It's not too hot for me to really complain, but it's hot enough that I'll acknowledge that at least. But I decided to come to the tree service and get some wood because I need some more. And I've been meaning to come here for a while, but I haven't been able to because I've just been so busy. So I stopped in here and I didn't see much, but then it was like, okay, I see there's some white oak in front of me here. And there's one piece of walnut. I don't really want walnut right now, but there's a bunch of cherry here too. And another long one there, bunch of cherry up in there. I gotta go dig out some at the top. And you can see all this has been pushed up there with the machine. And then there's a bunch of beech here as well. There's that piece there. There's a few here. It's gonna be boiler wood, some of these, because they're cut short. And I haven't really looked to see what else is in here. I haven't really gone up there, basically up to the top. So let's get loaded up. Who's in here so far? We got 2 people in here. And YouTube's not pumping up my videos as much, but I haven't been doing much stuff. Nothing special, so I haven't been making the best videos over the last while. And I have been catching up on my editing. But I did lag for a bit, but I haven't really done much filming at all, so I'm not really too behind. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had some white oak, so that's a good score. I've been needing some red oak because I've been running out of smoker wood. Oh, look at this, nice dry piece. Actually, this is not that dry. There's a couple logs right there. Wonder if this will be ready for the time that winter comes around. Feels pretty heavy, even though there's a bit of dryness to it. Can't really tell what this is. I could tell it's some nice dense hardwood. I also have to bring the boat back to the shop because I was out on the water the other day, and my friend's friend went out, and a bunch of people, they rent a boat every year and they go up to Muskoka and they just hang out, bring some food and set it up on the table. Drinks, stuff like that. So I went up there. I didn't know what to expect, but he said it was just some people renting a boat, so I wasn't sure if it was like a boat cruise or something, but yeah, they just rented a big pontoon boat. But it was nice up there. I haven't really been into the interior in Muskoka with my boat. There's a lake that's just on the edge of Muskoka when you're getting into Muskoka. And I used to go fish up there a lot. It's nice and convenient because it's the closest of all those lakes. And we used to go there for bass, but then I started finding a lot of pike. And that's where actually I first started renting a cottage. Not the cabin where I go at the other lake, but that's the first time I rented a cottage. I did a couple of years. And the problem with that lake is, I call it the minefield, because there's so many rocks everywhere. It's all rock islands on one half of the lake, but you know, you could just be out in the open, you leave from the boat launch and you don't see any rocks or islands in your vicinity. But as you're going out, it's shallow, and then all of a sudden you hit a rock, right? So you got to be really careful in that lake when you're driving around. But this weekend, I was right in the interior of Muskoka. And what was different was that there was current in the lake there, like visible current. You could see the current flowing through some of the areas in the lake between the rock islands. And I've never seen that on the lakes that I go to. It's part of a whole lake system where a whole bunch of lakes are connected to each other. And we did like a good trip from a town called Bala. That's where the boat was rented. And all the way up to Port Carling, but you had to kind of like zigzag your way through. And it's a bit of a drive. And the girl who rents the boat, I mean, she's used to it for going there over the years. But she was confident in navigating back and forth from town to town. When we went in town, we got something to eat, and the food was crap. I got a walleye sandwich, and all it is they put a little bit of tartar sauce, some cheese, and it was deep fried, and nothing special at all. And of course it's overpriced, so it's like 30 bucks for that. It's a small sandwich, and you get a salad with it, so not much to it. But I actually had to try and save someone's life, and luckily that things went the way they did, because this guy would have died out there. So when we went into town, I was itching to get back and, you know, just hang out on the water and stuff, but we're just sitting around in their boat for a while. I had my cooler in the in my boat, which is parked on the other side by the bar. I wanted to get another beer going and whatnot. So I just sat wait patiently, but they said, oh, we got to wait for somebody else to come into the boat. There's a couple other people. There's some more oak here. Let's see. Yeah, some more oak. I think that's bur oak. But anyway, so we picked up another couple, and there's about, I guess, maybe 13 of us all together. So okay, we started heading it back, and then they wanted to just jump in the water for a little bit. And I think when the girls jump in the water, that's when they take the time to use the washroom, you know what I mean? So as a guy, you can just go to the washroom when you're on the boat, but for the girls it's harder, so I think they just jump in and swim. So anyways, as we were coming back, they stopped and they turned off, and then we looked back and then they turned off, and then we called them on the phone. They said, oh yeah, we're just stopping to swim for a bit. I said, okay, we'll just come by and pull the boat up towards you guys. So we saw that the new guy who just come in the boat, he jumped in the water and the boat was moving off. And as the boat was moving away, I kept my eye on the guy. So they're getting further and further away. They're just putting along. They're not really like driving fast or anything, you know. They just kind of, I don't know, idling through. So he jumped off and he's swimming here, and he's kind of going this way. The boat's going this way, and I'm coming in like this, and I'm just trying to kind of catch up to the boat. So as I'm driving, I'm keeping my eye on the guy now. And then a couple of the girls jumped off of the boat, and they were swimming around too, but they were close to the boat. So something told me to go and check on the guy. He looked like he was okay. He wasn't signaling for help or anything. But as we got closer to him, we started to kick a little bit. It was my friend and I were in my boat, and everybody else is in the other boat. So we got closer, and my friend reached out to grab the guy. The guy was able to grab his arm, but he couldn't do anything else. So I had to come and go and grab the guy's other arm, and he couldn't move. And I didn't see what was happening over the gunnel because of my viewpoint, right? And then it was Kevin, who's you guys seen come in the wood yard and split with me. He is the guy who grabbed the guy's arm. So we pull the guy in, and my boat has 4 seats, and the guy, he just went and collapsed between the 2 seats and the gunnel, right? So he just contorted, lying in there like this. And we realized that this situation was more intense than we thought, right? So we just kept our cool. We didn't make an alarm for everybody else who was in the other boat. They were a good, like, I don't know, they were probably about 80, 90 feet away at this point, right? So then we just let the guy rest, and we let him catch himself. And I was just saying how, yeah, well, you know, he's from the islands, right? He's from Trinidad, where my parents are from. So if you swim out to sea there, it's different from the lakes, because the lake water is not as dense. So you can actually sink faster in the lake water, right? The salt water makes the water more buoyant in the ocean, right? But Kevin was saying, oh yeah, I think maybe you got a cramp. Now the water wasn't too cold. It was actually a nice temperature. It wasn't a really hot day. It was a lot better than this, but it was, I'd say between warm and hot. It was 24 degrees, so 24, 48, and that would be about 70 degrees. So the water was relatively warm. But Kevin was saying, oh, maybe because the water is cold and you were hot, that you cramped up. But the guy wasn't really answering for a bit. He wasn't really talking, you know what I mean? He was just trying to recover. And I was telling him that I was in that position myself one time, where I can't get this piece of beach out. Where, there it is. Okay. Where I went up to a lake and we went to go swimming at night, and there's like a little dock inside the little bay with the sand beach. I was swimming over to it. It's already like in the nighttime, so you know we had a few drinks and whatnot, and I could swim, but I can't float. I can't swim for long, right? So I'm walking out there. It's getting deeper. And then I'm too short for the height of the water, right? So I had to swim. So I kept swimming and swimming, and I was getting close to the dock. But then by the time I got to the dock, I was out of breath, and I actually sat for like 5 minutes, and I was going, and I just couldn't get back into normalcy mode, just like that. You know, even though it wasn't that bad overall. But I was telling the guy that story. But then he said later how he lost his he got a cramp, and that's what Kevin was calling out. That guy's lucky too, because there was even a current in that spot. And there was a couple islands there, and I don't know how far apart. They're not too close apart, but the current was actually going that way through the lake, because there's another spot, the next spot where we were supposed to navigate around to get back to the boat launch. The current was flowing through there, so I actually had to put some gas in the boat and then get it between these 2 islands. There was like, I don't know if that was a railway bridge across or something like that. But there was like a bridge over top, and the water just poured through there, and you kind of had to wait for people to go through, depending on which side you're on, right? So the current was coming from that way, so it was pushing between the islands, and it was pushing them away too, right? So Kevin called me yesterday, and he said, yeah, I didn't realize till like later how serious that situation was, you know? And that's how it happens up there, guys. It's, you know, you think somebody jumps in the lake, they could swim, but next thing you know, something happens, and then next thing you know, they go under, right? So, good thing for that, man. Good thing the boat was there, and I kept an eye on the guy. That's for sure. But it was a fun little trip. Lots of boats. It was very busy, as usual. Muskoka is like the hoity-toity land, and Toronto is known for having the second most expensive homes in Canada, and the cottages are actually more expensive than the homes in Toronto. So basically a cottage is about $1 million in Muskoka or more. And I was talking to the people in the other boat about the rental prices, and I was saying, so you guys know it costs like about maybe $10,000 for a cottage for a week in Muskoka to rent. And then they were saying, oh, we saw some that were like $40,000. So just imagine how insane that is, you know? Now that would be a really big cottage, like, you know, with a big atrium ceiling and all that stuff, you know, like 7 bedrooms and whatnot, right? There's a lot of cottages up there that are really big and they can accommodate a lot of people. Then there's a bunch of resorts up there too, right? But it's a huge area. It's pretty cool because the whole region itself, it has a remote section in the north where it's a lot quieter, and then the more busy area, it has 2 nice little towns with, you know, all the old buildings and stuff, and they got waterfalls going through them and stuff like that. And then you have the inland lakes all around there. And then on the west side, it's actually all the cottages on Georgian Bay, which is part of Lake Huron. And it's what's really cool there is the whole area is relatively shallow. It's just a vast area. That whole shoreline, I don't know how many kilometers or miles that whole shoreline is, but it's just bays, it's in and out, it's rock islands everywhere. But what's really cool is all the rocks, they're all smoothed over from the glacier. It's not those big craggy rocks that look like I don't know, like uncut diamonds and stuff like that, right? With all the jagged, or not the sharpest edges, but you know, you could see all the contours on them. You know, all these rocks are like smooth over, and some of the cottages are pretty cool because they have like a little bridge to go to the other little rock island. They have a little bunkie there, and it's really weird setup as opposed to just a waterfront, and then you have your cottage on the waterfront, right? But yeah, it's a really nice area. It's nice to get inside there because there's only one other time in my life where I've been into one of those inland lakes, and we got up there early in the morning, and that was before I was driving, so I was trying to get some food. I wasn't able to get to the store during the night, and then we left so early there was nothing open, so I was up there starving. I didn't have any beer, and then we ended up leaving there like, I don't know, maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock to go home. So I was like, what kind of a trip is this? There was like a bunch of us, a couple boats, right? But it wasn't much of a trip. But we were basically on Lake Muskoka. And then the restaurant we went up to in Port Carling, the lock is right there. So if you take the lock, then you can go into the Lake Rosso, I think, and then also Lake Joseph. I'm not sure, but that's like, those cottages are even more money, right? But the boathouses in front of these lakes, or in front of these cottages, the boathouse is basically a cottage in itself, right? Like some of those boathouses, they're like 3-bedroom, you know? They got a kitchen and stuff. Let's see who's in here. Let's see who's in the chats. And it's too bright, I can't really see. Yeah, I can't see it all. I can see the messages, but I can't really read the usernames. YouTube's got to fix that. I'd literally have to get like under a towel just to see who's in here. But how you doing, guys? I'm sure there's a couple regulars in here, or well, pretty much everybody's regulars now. It's all the diehards who come in on the live streams and whatnot, right? But yeah, I've got a lot of beach on so far. I see some more in here. Where's this beach here? I can't tell what that one is. It looks like here's another piece of oak. All this stuff is buried, man. Let's see. No more beach over there. Oh, I got all that stuff over there. There's one on top here. Yeah, I can get this one. Now, I would try and sell this beach for smoker wood, but nobody actually calls for it. I think I had 1 or 2 people take some beach, and that's it. I think that's a piece of ash underneath. We'll scoop out some more of this beach. This is a bigger piece. like a base cord on so far. And I'll probably get up to a half a cord. I'm going to start getting into that cherry soon. Most of this beech is going to be boiler wood. Speaking of boiler wood, I just lost a customer. Customer, you guys have seen him in the videos before. And when I delivered a lot with Larry, and he said he's switching to, I can't remember what he said. I think he said he's switching to gas. But he likes the idea of when he goes away, that the place is heated and he doesn't have to run the boiler, right? So he actually did order a load, and we spoke about it a couple times, and with the timing and everything, because it takes me a while to fill the boiler bin, and I have to get in there before the fall rains because he wants me to go around the back of his house to the back of the boiler. His boiler, because his property is so small, is actually in a shed. So he wants me to have the truck drive around by the behind the shed of the boiler and drop it there, right? And if it's not ideal circumstances, then we have to drop it in front of the garage doors in front of the house, right? And he doesn't want to do it there because he has to move the wood. So we spoke about all the timing of being able to deliver the wood, and then he messaged me about a week and a half ago and he said to cancel the order because he's switching over his heat source. I'm going to move some of this wood first so that I can have that big long piece drop down. That's a piece of silver maple. I can see they got lots of silver maple left over from before. They had that big tree. There must have been 3 loads that they brought in here. Actually, I like that I have the beech in here because whatever that beech I can use for firewood, that helps give me that that mixed species trend that I do with my firewood. So I've just been having about maybe 6 species of firewood lately. Maybe 7, but some of those species, like silver maple, Siberian elm, even the black walnut, which is kind of okay, they're not that great, so I don't like to use too much of that in my loads, right? And then there's also the honey locust too, which is really good, but it just doesn't have much of a smell to it. So I don't like putting too much of that stuff in, plus it takes forever to dry. So it's nice to get some beech, some diversity. The trucks are starting to come back here now. They've been out on their jobs. Try to get this piece of ash. I don't see too much ash these days, guys. They're soon gonna start rushing me out of here too. So I gotta make it quick. Bit of birch. My plan is to actually go back to the shop and get the boat. I didn't bring the boat back up to the wood yard. So the thing is, it's too hot to split. Okay, some more of this white oak, and then I'll get into the cherry. I see another nice piece of ash there. I see more beech. I haven't been here in a while. Actually almost out of cherry too, so it's a good thing I'm finding some cherry. This one's a little bit rotten and dry. So these guys do not cut wood for firewood, man. They just cut it to get it gone. Lots of cherry here. What's this one? Walnut. Another piece of ash in there. The beech keeps rearing its ugly head. Half a dozen cherry pieces here right now. See another piece of ash. I got 3 bags of cherry bagged up at the shop, and then I have another maybe 2 bags of wood that's probably almost dry by now. Getting close to 2 face cords here. Looks like I'll have pretty much a full crate of cherry after I'm done picking this up. Whatever doesn't get taken away by me, they might have somebody who comes picks them up. Probably only one person at most, but I don't even know. I can't even say. But if they get too full, they just get a bin in here, and then they load it up with the machine, and then they get it gone. What's that? Is that a giant piece of cherry or what? What the hell is that, man? Or is that one of those softwood trees? I think it's a softwood. Yeah, it's a softwood. But it does look like cherry. Get you guys closer. So I got a lot of sugar maple the other day. Now I have a lot of that stuff, so I can keep up with that smokehouse that keeps buying it off of me. I see there's some more sugar maple in there, but I'm not sure I'm going to get it out because a bunch of this stuff is piled up, and I will reduce it by getting some more of that cherry that's way up there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 5 more pieces of cherry up there. There's more there too. Wow. There's tons of it, guys. I'm not even finished with the beach yet. When you ask for it, it comes, you know? Nice big cherry log underneath. I'll actually use some of that for my personal stash for my own firewood burning. There's another piece of ash. Bunch of Manitoba Special in here, aka box elder. There's another knotty piece of beech under here. Yeah, big knuckle of some sorts. That's a big piece. Well, not that big, but you can't get a grip on it. It's almost like it's just this domed top. There we go. Oh, look at that. Piece of art. It's all hollowed out. A little bit of a burl on the outside. Oh, but they cut into it. That's the bad thing. See what happens with that later. Okay, we're winding it down here. There's a big piece of cherry under there. Yeah, another one. Cherry for days. Definitely have a full crate now and more. I'll have to put some aside. Just cut it into coins first. There's a black walnut. If you guys ever smell this, this smells so fragrant. Yeah, and doing this work right now is going to kind of help me decide whether I'm going to go split it in the wood yard, but I'm already leaning to say no. Wow, there's more cherry up here. Wow. A big piece of ash. Yeah, the more I load, is the less I'm going to want to do some work in the yard. I'm going to have to move some wood around here, guys. I'm like out of space. Put some of this cherry at the front so when I dump the load and I start working on the pile, I can get some more cherry ready. Okay, that's better. Let me get some water. Oh, let me adjust the tripod a little bit. It's not all the way up. I can move the legs up one more notch. I got two legs, or sorry, two of the telescopic parts of the arms, of the legs. I got those out. I can go higher. This goes higher than my last tripod. Yeah, it wasn't super hot today. It's hot enough, but you start doing this work, man, it's horrible. I think I see a piece of oak hiding behind the wall. We'll check that out in a sec. Or is it elm? Actually, it looks like elm. I can see the top cut. No shade here. I'm gonna go get another water. Help bring my temperatures down. Wonder how much that helps. Getting the cool water inside you to help balance your temperature a bit. Probably not much at all. least 11 pieces of cherry left. There's 2 pieces of sugar maple. Can't really see any more peach. Oh boy. All right. Let's adjust the camera here. I gotta go high up. Yeah, anybody who's in here, I can't really see the chats. So let me see. I'll just take a look now. But when I'm done, I go in the truck. I guess I'll look. Yeah, it's just too small, man. Sorry, guys. I like the interaction. I don't like just being here and loading up and whatnot, right? I like to interact with you guys, but this is a physical kind of live stream. This isn't where I'm just sitting around to talk. So, actually, I haven't done a live stream at home, sitting around and chatting for a while. But actually, I'm going to do one in a week and a half because I'm going up to the lake. I didn't go for Canada Day, July 1st, so I'm going to go back for the civic holiday weekend here, which is the first Monday in August. So that's like the 4th to the 7th, or like that, something like that. And I'm going to try and go up to Easton Maid, guys, because they're an hour away from my lake. So I'm going to do another tour again. If you guys were here since the beginning of my channel, then you saw that I went to the Easton Maid Splitter Factory, and I want to go to the new facility that they have. So hopefully I can get up early enough so that I can get 4 days of fishing out on the water at the lake. I can go do the tour, and also I want to go back to the lake where I did the pike fishing video the other day. What's this? More beach. Oh no, this is magnolia. Okay. Whatever, I'll take some of that. Doesn't hurt. It's a nice 16-inch piece. So yeah, I'll do a live stream that day. And, or on that trip, I should say. I'm not sure what time. Well, it's going to be in the evening, but I'm not sure which day yet. So I just got to figure out which day. If I leave and I go up there during the week, then I'll be settled in and I can easily do it on the weekend. It's hard to do it when I get up there on a Friday. And I do try to go up in the morning instead of at nighttime. So if I get there at nighttime and I go to do it on Saturday, I might have a long day trying to set up and get out fishing. And then to get back in the evening to do the live stream, right? But if I get up there like Wednesday or something, then I'll be in a better position to be able to do it, because I got to do it before it gets dark. It's not July 1st or the beginning of July, so it's not going to be as bright late into the night. So I have to start it early enough so I have lots of daylight. There's still more trucks out, and it's getting close to 5 o'clock. I'm surprised these guys aren't all back yet. Sometimes it's some of the crew, they're waiting to lock the gate, and that's why they want me gone. It's not this, the boss tells them, okay, they gotta lock up, and they're like, whatever. Well, they want to go home and they gotta lock up, right? There's a piece of basswood, aka linden. That cherry piece is closest to 16-inch that I've seen cut of all that cherry. Pretty much anything. I haven't really seen anything that's cut nice and close to 16, except for a little bit of that ash and that piece of magnolia. Looking back here, there's a big sugar maple and there's tons of that silver maple. Wow, yeah, that silver maple or sugar maple trunk is pretty big. Well, it's not that big, but it's probably about almost 2 feet. This Norway maple. All right, getting close to the end of the cherry. Getting close to the end of the day. Got a wood avalanche happening here. I think there's a piece of apple. It's apple, but it's dry and a tiny bit rotten, so it'll just go for firewood. There's a couple pieces here that I threw, and I think I thought they were pear. This one looks more like pear, but the other ones look like catalpa. But I can tell a little bit of pink in there. That's pear, and that's all dry too. Okay, is it one more piece of cherry? What's that? Is that sugar maple? Yes, it is. Actually, guys, I think what some of this stuff which I was mistaking for beech is striped maple. But the stripes don't look that distinct. Ooh, there's a big trunk of that sugar maple too. Too bad I can't get that. There's another one under here. Well, I'm making a dent on this pile, that's for sure. And there's a big piece of ash up here too. And there is another piece of sugar maple buried in here. I think I can get that one out. It's not too big of a diameter. That one's bigger than I thought. maple is a lot bigger than I thought. I don't think I'm going to bother with that one. It's big down there. It's about this wide. In this section in here, there it's almost about 50% larger the diameter on the other side. Ooh, and there's a big trunk of oak here. I'm not getting that either. More ash. And some more manageable maple up here. I don't know if you guys could see me from here. This is risky business. Okay, there we go. Got the medium-sized sugar maple log over here. I think you guys can see me now. Yeah, I gotta get, there's at least one more piece of ash over there. It's too bad they don't let me bring my saw in here and cut. It'd be nice to get everything cut in here first. Then I don't have to deal with the mess at the yard. Okay. Just one more piece. What I suspect is striped maple, and I'm going to just start loading the truck with what's on the ground there. Is that another piece of cherry? Yeah. Actually, that sugar maple is huge, guys. I see an even bigger piece of trunk in there. Gotta make a little room in the truck maybe, or at least just throw some pieces up. Luckily there's some dry wood in here. There's the ash, which is drier. It's not going to be too heavy of a load, because if I'm picking up a bunch of wet red oak. Okay. It's almost like it's round two. I haven't even done. huge percentage of this, but I guess I've done over half. I'm gonna try and get that cherry up front. Put the tailgate up. When I toss them in, I can get more distance. Well, with this load, I'm not taking the boat up to the wood yard tonight. I'm not going to go at rush hour. I'll just dump this load in the morning. What do I have to do tomorrow? I got somebody coming for some dock barrels. And that's about all I got planned. It was supposed to really be hot. It was supposed to really be hot Wednesday and Thursday. And even I think today was supposed to be a little bit more, but then it's going to be really hot on Thursday and Friday. And then we got a bit of rain on Saturday. I think some on Thursday too. So looks like I won't be getting a boat out on the weekend because I do stuff with my daughter on Sunday, trying to get her to enjoy nature, you know. So I'm probably going to go to Niagara Falls. I took her to High Falls the other day in Muskoka, and first I showed her the pictures and she didn't want to go. I showed her a video, she didn't want to go. But we got up there, as soon as she saw a little patch of water, she wanted to go explore it. Almost done. Oh, there's these two last pieces of sugar maple. There's one last piece of cherry, and then a piece of ash. Now, let me check what that other one is over there. Well, I was right. That one piece that was over there was elm. Oh boy. I think that water did cool me off though. Now, since I was talking about the water cooling me off, it's starting to get hot again. What? I've got 3 pieces left. This piece is a bit of a hassle. I guess I'll just have to lay it on the tailgate. Whatever those pieces that look like they were split before, that's coming from this wood here, and I guess maybe it's silver maple. It just looks yellowish on the inside, but not as yellow as mulberry or black locust. Okay, last piece. Okay. Let's finish this off. That's a full load, guys. very awkward. Very awkward. Okay, that was picked clean. You know what? I'll get this piece of elm over here. I won't even try to split this. I'll just put it for boiler wood. I'll just cut it into sections because it's a waste of time to split. I just got to find another boiler customer. I don't have any more. There's one guy who called me one time, but he started sourcing his own wood. But he did call me, I don't know if it was a year and a half ago, and I missed the call for whatever reason, and I called him back, and the guy never answers his phone. He never calls back. So I even had that problem when I was delivering a load to him one time, and it's like, okay, we agreed on a certain date. I have the bin ready. I got the driver here. We're coming up. I want to get paid. So, like, where are you, man? You know? But lucky enough, I can't remember. That was a few years back, but I think I got there and I had to wait for him a little bit to come. Just looking at some other wood here. What's this? Is this black locust? It's dry. I'll go in the cutoff bags. But yeah, I don't even want to try calling that guy because he never answers his phone, you know? He's a businessman too. I know, actually, a lot of times he is out of town in the States because he does travel for work. So, yeah, it has an excuse sometimes, but it's like, still, he never calls me back. Okay, let me go in the shade here and look at the chats before I sign off. Lots of shade here now. And I can't see the small print. And you can see the chats, but the names are too dark. Okay, I see Jeremy is in here. Is that Ralph? Yeah, Ralph is in here. Tim Stout. And who's that? Somebody's saying, what's up from Saskatchewan? Sorry, I can't read it, guys. I gotta maybe get some bifocals, and not bifocals. I gotta get some glasses or something, or get my eyes corrected once again. Geez, man, it's so small. Even if I back out, I can't really see. Doesn't help I got all this sweat going in my eyes either. Timon's in here. I'm not surprised to see Timon. Yeah, stay hydrated. Yes, I did. And that's the other username that I can't read. It looks like something day. Too small. And who's that? Stash Pontoon. Stan the Bassman got in here. How's it going? Working hard. Drinking a lot of water, I hope. Yes, I am. And we'll see you soon. We'll see you about in probably about a week. Who else is in here? Is that John Arnett? How you doing? I guess that's everyone in the chats. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you next time. I don't know when that is. It's supposed to get hotter out here, so I probably won't be doing any splitting till next week. But yeah, so my live stream will be in a week and a half. Maybe I'll do it the Friday night when I'm up there. Like I said, I should be getting up there on a Wednesday, hopefully. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Maybe I'll fillet a fish again live on screen, and hopefully it doesn't have wind, because the last time I did that, you couldn't hear a single word of that I was saying, and all you could hear is the wind. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff.